Hello everyone, welcome back. In this episode here, I'm going to be removing my little plastic basket and installing the front basket here on the RAD Mini. Just to show you the install, I think it's just perfect. I think it's perfect timing anyway. The basket right here, as you can see, is breaking here, and here. It's plastic. I've had it in the backs of my vehicle in the sun during the summer, so it's probably been melting away. Anyways, so I'm gonna take that off, and then I'm gonna put on the rear here. So let me actually move this to the front. No, it's alright, I'll just leave it here. First I need some tools here, so I'm gonna get my scissors and some other stuff. So hold on here. Let's move this out of the way here. Can't wait to ride again. Okay, let's turn the lights on. So I'm gonna need some scissors. So let's go into my garage with all my Harbor Freight tools, cheap tools. If you're not being sponsored or tools aren't given to you, like some of these other YouTube channels, for me, Harbor Freight's a good deal because they're cheap and very inexpensive. So maybe something like this. I'll bring a scissor anyway. I never really tried this to cut the zip ties. Scissors, and then I'm probably gonna have to figure out which of these. I'm probably have to figure out which of these I'm going to have to use, but they're right here. The socket. Let's see, I'm gonna pull out the socket right now. Probably 1/4 inch socket right here. So 1/4 inch socket with one of these. I'll come back for this. I'm just going to get it ready. Of course, I can use the wrenches here, but I'd rather use the sockets. Alright, so let's just try some of these here. I'm using my other let's see here. Can't get to this. Okay. I'm just going to have to cut these out. If I can reach them. Some of these I can't even reach, but let's see if I can reach this one. Yeah. Alright. Okay. Seems like they snap off a lot easier using this tool. Just squeeze and pull on it a little bit, and voila. Alright, this did okay. Obviously it's not going to last forever. It's not going to last forever. And you can see it left a lot of these scratch marks right here, here. So it looks like it really smoothed this out quite a bit. So aluminum's pretty soft too, so I wouldn't expect a lot from this aluminum either. So now under tension they do good, but when it's not under tension, it seems to just seems to not want to come off here. Let's try this again. There we go. Alright, not too bad. Alright, so here's my rack. Now, the rack that comes with the RAD Mini is already prepped and set up for the bolts here, so I just have to put it on. And 4th of July is coming up soon, and since this basket broke here, I'm going to have to do something with this. And my wife is finally going to join us for an event on 4th of July. We're going to go see the fireworks. We're going to go swimming at the pool. So I need to put something on this basket or on this rack, because because she'll be riding this bike. I'm going to be riding the RADROVER with the co-pilot with my young one. My oldest will probably not go. She doesn't swim. She doesn't like going out in a bikini suit or in a swimsuit or anything like that. She doesn't even like going out in the sun anymore. Teenagers, right? You know, so she doesn't like breaking a sweat. Alright, so let's get working on this here. And so here's the rack, and here's the rack. And I think the X is supposed to face outwards. This is supposed to face in. And let's see. All right. The holes seem to match up pretty well right here. Now I haven't seen the videos yet. Let's have also a look at the screws here. Alright, let's have a look at the bolts. Let's see how many washers I get. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, okay. And then there's washers on top, so I'm just going to assume, because the size, as you can see, the size of these holes are pretty big. Let's just go ahead and pop this open now. Let's just put this in here. Yeah, they're not gonna, you're gonna need a washer probably on top. Probably gonna need a washer on top. That makes the most sense for me. Even though they kind of do have a washer, but it doesn't seem like it's going to, I don't know, it may. It doesn't go through. This may be, I'm contemplating whether this is for the top. It probably is. Like, this small little washer probably won't do it. Let me just try to hand thread. And they have lock. They already have a Loctite on them. So let me just put it in here. Let me just hand do them right now. Most likely the washers are on top. So once it's bolted in, it's probably not going to go anywhere. It's already moving on me already. And put it in this way. Put it in this one right here. Let's see here. Let me go around this way. Okay. There we go. Alright. Alright, so I got that prepped. Man, I should have taken one of these screws out to figure out which one I need to take out one of these so I can figure out what bolt to get. Alright, so let's figure out what bolt to get for this. And let me see here. Looks like it might be this size. Yeah, perfect. Excellent. It's going to be this size right here. Alright, so they already have like a Loctite on here, which is nice. Alright, so let's go see what happens. There we go. Starting to come back. I want a crisscross pattern when you lock this, so it just gets torqued down right. Okay. I don't want to torque all of them down right now. As a matter of fact, let me move the bike a little bit more in the shade here. A little bit better, so the lighting's not that harsh. There we go. That should be a lot better. So let's do this one. I'm going to use my tools and get down a lot faster. Matter of fact, if I use the impact drill, probably would have been way faster, but I don't know. Just do it by hand. It's probably not. There's a little bit of wiggle room. Now I'm going to tighten this down as much as it can go. I feel it getting tighter. Now be careful not to, these are small, the aluminum, the thread is aluminum, so once you get to a certain point, don't over tighten it, I think. And plus they have Loctite thread, so they're not gonna, you shouldn't have to worry about getting them all loose. There we go. And since the frame is aluminum, as well as the basket, you don't have to worry about different expansion on the metal. They'll probably expand at the same rate. There we go. There's a brief one. To my imagination, does this, it seems like this is not going in. Just a, this seems like it's not going in at all, which is kind of weird. Unless I've stripped the threads on these for some reason. I hope I did not. This is kind of weird. Anyway, I have a tap and die set, so if I did strip it, I'm gonna have to redo it. This is so weird. Why is it doing this? Okay, I'm gonna have to redo this here. So, what's wrong with this? Why is this not going through? Something's wrong with this one in particular. Interesting. This one is not going through for some reason. Yeah, this one's not going in. When it comes to aluminum, the threads tend to it's just not biting. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna have to remove all of these now and get the right there's something wrong with this thread right here. I'm not sure what it is and why it's not biting, but we're about to find out here. It's not threading through for some strange reason. Alright, let me cut out. I'm gonna get my impact drill so I can do this a little faster. Alright everyone, I got the impact drill, got the adapter, 1/4 inch socket adapter, and let's do this. It should be a little faster here. Okay, I got this. We're gonna remove all these again because this one right up, that one right there is just not working for whatever reason. All of them seem to line up except for that last one. All right. So let's take this out. Let's have a look at that thread. This one right here. Just want to make sure that it's... Oh, look at that. Look at that. The reason why it's not biting is because this rear rack, the threading is not right. It's been threaded too big. want to take a closer look at that. So yeah, if you look at it, that thread is bigger than that thread. So there's no way I can ever, well, until you get down to the bottom part, yeah. Only when you get down all the way to the bottom does it seem like there's some thread and bite. I have a feeling that that's because there's something under here, which, let me take a look here, that there's something right under here that well, there you go. This has been misthreaded. Or they put the nut. All this is really a nut that's been welded, and this nut size seems to be misthreaded. See, look at that. Actually, I have to go all the way down before it bites to anything, and even then it doesn't really. Okay, well, anyways, there you go. This thread, if you're having the same problem on your RAD Mini, this thread here is the wrong size compared to all the other ones, so it wasn't me. So what I'm going to do is, and unfortunately I'm going to have to be really careful on how I do this, because okay, so how am I going to do this? I'm going to go ahead and put this on first. Will it bite? Let's see if it actually bites. I'm gonna do it by hand here. I just need it to bite enough to stay where it is, and the rest of it I'm just gonna have to. Is it biting? It's not quite biting. There we go. I have to put some pressure down on it just to get it to bite. Let's see if it bites. Nope. It's not biting. So this is a major defect. Okay. See if I could just force it in here. It's coming loose. Okay, so it's just not going to work. No matter what I do, it's just never going to stay on. So, okay, there's their defect. I'll just have to deal with that later. I'll send a video out. So I'm going to have to work with the 3 other screws here. So that is a major defect. Oh goodness. That's a major flaw. I'm not sure if it's mine. Maybe it's just mine, but strange. I don't know why it would be just mine, but in any case it is. Okay, these threads work. That thread is way bigger, but we'll just have to do with what I have. 4th of July is just around the corner, so I'm not going to wait for RADROVER to send me a new one. Let's see what they do here. I don't know if they're going to send me another rack or what the deal is, or I don't want to torque them down too tight because okay, that one I torqued down pretty good. Eventually I'm going to do this by hand. Just trying to save some time from turning. Alright. So I'm missing one screw. Oh. Missing one screw, that's right there. It does move around. It does move around, as you can see. So I'm going to have to torque it down so it doesn't move around. I don't want to use the impact drill because it might strip the threads, so I got to do this by hand. Okay. And again, you don't want to torque it down too hard because it is aluminum, and you might strip the threads on. I almost feel like that one's being stripped. There we go. Get down tight. This is pretty tight. I don't want to do any more than that right there. And you got to be careful not to overdo them, because okay. Well, so far this has not been going well for the RAD Mini, because I'm definitely missing. As long as I can lift, this up, okay. Hopefully we won't have any issues. in the future. Alright, so there's the install. Like I said, the problem is this right here. That threading is too big on the RAD Mini, at least on mine. So that begs the question of, let's see here, let's move some of this out of the way. Okay, so I'm gonna see if the threading on this is correct, because if the threading is wrong on this, then man, RAD power bikes have got a major defective flaw here. They have a lot of parts and pieces to replace. I hate to be the fabricator who made that mistake. All right. So all of these look like they're the right size hole on this one. Let me see here. Yeah, this is right. Okay. I should have removed the washer. It's gonna fall. There we go. Okay. Let's see if this is right. Yeah, okay. Let's see if this is right. Yeah, this is the right thread. This thread works. And this is the correct thread. Right here. I got a correct thread. Okay, so if you get a new rack for the RADROVER, at least this one will work. The threading is correct. If you have a RAD Mini, this upper right here, this one, the threading is way too big. Anyways, so until that happens, let me just put the thread up on here. I'll just leave the thread on here so that I won't lose it. It's pretty much, this is useless. The other option is for me to hack it. I might have to hack a thread. I'll call RADROVER too, let them know about this situation. There we go. Just leave that on there for now so I can have it. Okay, there you go. That's an issue with the RAD Mini. This threading right here is not right. Anyways, there's the install for the rear basket. I can only use 3 screws because the upper right threading is too large. I'll probably have to call RADROVER customer service time. I don't know what they're going to do. If all their racks were fabricated that way, they have an issue. They either have to send me a longer screw with a little bolt, a nut, so I can put on the bottom, something, because this is not going to work. Well, it's going to work, but I would like one more to secure that down instead of having one. But anyways, there you go. There you go. That is the install. That is the install for the RAD Mini anyways, but install for the rear rack.